morning and welcome back to my channel, Don't Mind Me. I'm Diana and I am in my craft room doing hexagons for a quilt that I'm making. So if I'm not looking at the camera all the time, it's because I'm drawing around a template. Okay, the reason I'm doing this video, I was going to do a video on another myths and legends of our local area called Chanctonbury Hill, which I will do at a later date. But I just wanted to do a video today regarding a part 2 of grief. I recently went to a funeral of a friend's mum, and it brought back a lot of memories of when I lost my parents and my brother, and seeing my friend and her sister, or sisters I should say, going through what they have been through, knowing that grief is a very, very difficult subject. It's very difficult because everybody's different, and what angers me is the fact that people will see you and think, oh, you're just sad, you're just having a bad day. No, we're not. We're going through a process of anger, of sadness, of happiness, of basically all the emotions you possibly think you've got and those that you don't think you've got. When I lost my dad, I did most of my grieving when he was ill because he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which I probably mentioned in the first grief video. Then he died in 1987, and that was a real blow because I was very close to my dad. And yeah, I miss him. In 2005, I lost my mum, and the day of her funeral, I was told by a member of my family that I wasn't allowed to cry because I'd be letting the rest of the family down. So I didn't. Bottled it until I lost my brother in 2012. Both my mum and my brother I lost suddenly. Even though with my brother I knew he was ill, but I didn't know how ill, and the same with my mum. I ended up going to Carlisle to be at his family's side, and yeah, I thought, oh, I'm strong, I'll be there for the family. No, I broke, literally broke. As you can see, this is a very hard subject for me to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. I got through this through talking about it, through friends, and knowing that basically everybody's different. I actually watched a video not long after my dad died where a lad had written in, they had like a doctor's section on this programme, and this lad was 16 and he'd written in because he'd lost his uncle, and he was very close to his uncle, and like this doctor said, people were saying to this lad, come on, snap out of it. Not realising what this lad was going through, what his uncle meant to him, and all the emotions going around in his head. Now, this doctor turned to this lad and said, no one has the right to tell you to snap out of it. Grief is a process that can be long, short, medium. It doesn't matter. Grief can last a few days, you think you're over it. Can last a few months, you think you're over it. A few years, you think you're over it. No, you never get over it. You learn to live with it. And yeah, I live with it. Everybody lives with it. Seeing my friends going through what I've been through was hard, but I have hopefully helped them by, they know I'm here for them always. One of my friends actually scared me last week. Her daughter actually messaged me because her mum was not talking to anyone. She'd turned her phone off. She'd gone back to work too early and obviously realised she'd gone back to work too early. Was signed off, and I, being the person I am, phoned her and phoned her and phoned her to no joy. Her daughter messaged me saying that she would make sure this friend came round to me the next day, and she did. And we talked about everything and anything. I have pictures of her mum, me, and this friend. We were talking about her mum, what happened to me after the funeral, which was very strange as it had never happened to me before. As I think I've mentioned in a previous video, since the age of 12, 13, I have had feelings and dreams that have come true. They stopped for a very long time. And then last year they started up again. I have never had anyone to talk to about these feelings until very recently, where my ex-sister-in-law, her sister is a psychic medium, and luckily enough I was put in contact with her and I was talking to her about what was going on, because, and people will probably poo-poo and switch off, which is fine by me, but I actually had my very first spiritual conversation or connection, if you like, the day after the funeral of my friend's mum. I was making a cup of tea for myself and my daughter, and I have been watching TikTok, and nobody up until very recently has come up to me, resonated with me, said anything that I've really believed in. Now, I have always loved tarot cards, but have never really listened to anyone. And this person helps you, or tries to explain to you the thoughts of what's going on. If you're talking or you hear spiritual guides, whatever. And this person actually said that you can, if you haven't been diagnosed with tinnitus and you're hearing in your ears, that's a sign. Birds are a sign, butterflies are a sign that your spirits, your loved ones are close. And going back to what happened to me, I, as I say, was making a cup of tea, and I literally had a voice in my head telling me to tell my friend and her sisters that her mum, or their mum, was happy. It was her time to go. She felt she was a burden, which she wasn't. She was not happy down here anymore. She wanted to be with her husband. And she wanted me to tell them that it was her time to go. I just thought it was me being me, going mad. Anyway, I sent this message to my friends, saying, I know this is probably going to make you cry, but this is what your mum said to me. Told them everything. When I saw my friend on Wednesday of last week, I said to her that she probably thought I was mad. She actually turned around to me and said she'd known me for so long, and the fact that she knew I had these feelings, and that no, she believed it. And yes, it made her cry, but it made her happy at the same time, knowing her mum was happy with her dad and that everything was okay. And when I spoke to this medium friend of mine and told her I was going, or felt I was going mad, she turned around to me and went, "You're not." She said, "It's just one of those feelings where you can't explain what is going on." And the fact that I was just hopefully helping my friends, which I know I have done because my friends have told me this. The other thing was going back to the tarot cards. I've been looking for a couple of friends. One was a school friend from junior school, and her cousin was in my class, and the other one lived 2 doors down from where I lived as I was growing up. And as I say, I've been looking for them for years and years on Facebook. I even mentioned to my school friend's cousin if he knew where she was. He didn't. It so happened that I saw a status a couple of weeks ago after seeing several tarot card readings saying the same thing, that I was going to get reconnected with old school friends, either an old flame. And so I thought, okay, put it to the back of my head, to my mind, when I saw a status from my friend, my school friend, saying that, sorry, no pictures, but I've met up with my cousin and there aren't any pictures because we just spoke for not speaking for 11 years. So I messaged him and said, "Oh, is that your cousin who I've been looking for?" And he came back, "Yes." She happened to see it, commented, and sent a friend request. We're now back in contact. That was one. Now, I'm not one of these people that will sit and flick through on Facebook people you might know. I'll probably go through about 5 at the most and then carry on scrolling. I decided, I was on Facebook, oh, people I might know, was flicking through, and up popped a name that I recognised, and it said two mutual friends. So I clicked on the profile, and it was the person that had lived 2 doors down from me. And I messaged him and said, I don't think you'll remember me, but this is who you knew me for as. You were 2 doors down from me as we were growing up. And he messaged back saying, of course I remember you, can I call you? So we were on FaceTime for over an hour, catching up, and it was wonderful. And yeah, it's very strange what goes on when you're grieving, when you're sad, when you're stressed. Just remember, you're not the only one out there. Yes, you could be going through anything and everything and grieving over someone, something. And yes, everyone's different. But what we need to do is talk about it. Don't bottle it. Talk about it. Go and see a professional. Go and see your doctor. If you're not ready to go back to work, don't go back to work. You need time to mend. You need time to stop feeling guilty, to stop feeling angry. And I've learnt all this over the 30 odd years where I lost my dad. As I say, you can still see that it gets to me. But it's one of those things that's unfortunately life. We have to go through it. We have to go through it. But we don't have to go through it on our own. And you can take as long as you like to feel normal. As I say, grief never goes away, but you learn to live with it. You've got the memories, you've got the photographs, you've still got that love in your heart for that person. So please remember, I'm always here as our friends. I will leave my details in the description of my Facebook mental health support group, which is also on Instagram, which I will also leave in the description below. Please, if you like this video, press the thumbs up, subscribe and press the notification bell, because that way, A, it is free, B, it's the only way that YouTube will notify you of my videos and when they're up. And as I say, please share, do whatever you need to do, but please love others, respect others, and treat those as you want to be treated yourself. And until next time, bye.